understand that.
Are you out here telling people that Grammarly is free?
Yes.
That's a lie.
The ratchet version is free.
Yeah, see, damn right. Damn right.
And honestly, that's all you need.
What's the ratchet version? ChatGPT?
No. Grammarly. No. There's a spicy version and there's a ratchet version, okay?
I'm just saying, with AI and shit, the last thing, could you imagine being in college right now and writing something legitimately and like being accused of using AI?
Wait, that's crazy.
That happens all the time.
Yes, it happens all the time. But think about it, bitch. You're assigning the same fucking shit to 100 fucking students. Of course shit's gonna look similar.
No, if bitches are checking my shit with AI to check if I'm using AI, no, bitch, you're fucked.
Yeah, don't tell me to do my job and you ain't doing yours.
Exactly.
I feel like
I know those damn professors are not grading their shit on their own.
Does that mean they're calling you a bot if they're claiming they use AI and you didn't?
A firm, they're using AI detectors, and then put it this way: right now, it is becoming the norm for students to write in Google Docs so that there's a version history, so you can prove you wrote it yourself and it wasn't just copy pasted. Like that is what people are resorting to because it's the only way to prove, to some extent, that you wrote it. You know, over a period of time instead of just copy pasta. It's rough.
That's just kind of miserable to think about entirely.
That's what I'm saying. Where were you gonna say, Alice?
Like the offset though to that is that that's bad.
The person gets the core back.
Argue that
issue the VAT.
Easier to get your degree.
And then we have to go through this lengthy process of subpoenaing the person who bought the core, which they can't give me the name of who bought the core because they apparently don't write that in any documentation. They write it on a sticky note on someone's desk or some shit. I don't know. And then we have to subpoena the person who bought the core.
With boiling water.
Find out if what they sold the core for. Now, mind you, if they sold the core for nothing, I don't think there's going to be a bank transaction for nothing. And then if they sold the core for the amount they bought it for, then we have to articulate to prove that essentially that they knew that who they were selling it to would have used it for crime. So in reality, all we're doing is letting people who are clean buy the course for whatever amount the criminals want to pay, and then they immediately turn around and sell it to a criminal for the amount they paid, and just say, I didn't know they were going to use it for crime, and then let them take the car and drive it around and use it for crime. I have to go through all of this process. I have to subpoena people's records. I have to go through all of these boots and bobs and boobs to then possibly go to push criminal charges, put out a warrant for the person who bought its arrest, and then attempt to try to apprehend whoever this clean person is that bought this core, to then push criminal charges, to then for it to go to court, to then prove it in a court of law. At this point, this car has already been used in fucking 15 jewelry stores and already has been revamped and resaved. Now, what the fuck is this?
I just had a brain aneurysm. Is this not as simple as being told who it was sold to by a
You had a brain aneurysm. Did you just hear all the work that I'm gonna have to go through because someone walked in the courthouse and said, I want to pay what I think I heard you say that they paid 45 grand for it. I want to pay 45 grand for this and then sell it to their friend. Really? And then I have to go through fucking hours of work and time invested in this because they used the core less than an hour after they bought it from the auction. What the fuck is the point of the VAF system? Why am I wasting my fucking time? I don't have the time to go through this alleviated process to prove that this person was a clean person that bought the core and then resold it for whatever amount. Even if they bought it and sold it for the same amount that they bought it for, or they gave it away for free, Like, why am I spending? Why am I
Who
doing
are we subpoenaing for this information?
It would be the person who bought the core.
Why? No, we'll just subpoena the fucking state financial records to figure out where the money went or came from.
I don't want to do any of that. Like, why is it so much harder for us? Why are we the ones that have to go through this hard process? Like, the VAV system is already dog shit as it is. Why are we having to do that much more work for this? Why? Like, and if I find out, okay, I go through all this work, okay, I subpoena these people, I find out what they sold it for, whatever, I press a warrant for their arrest, they go on their run for 2 weeks, we don't find them or whatever the case may be. Then once their warrant expires, I can't press charges no more, is what I was told the other day by a judge. Because a warrant expired, so mind you, I'm going to have to make sure the warrant's still re-upped, or I'm going to have to put it on the docket, and then I'm going to have to go to court.
Alice, honey, shh. I'm approaching you as a civilian. You ready? I'd like to make a FOIA request.
Yes.
Regarding the sale of auctioned vehicles and property from March 6th to March 7th. And then I guess you're going to have to tag a judge because they're going to be the only one who can provide that. And then we get what we want, right?
Then I still have to subpoena the person.
No. Okay, yes, but we'd have to do that regardless. But we'll at least figure out who the fuck it was.
You want to do all this work, darling?
Part of me wants to say yes, but the other part of me knows I don't run in any of these bitches. This is the first time in a long time.
I mean,
I only knew one name in that whole group.
I don't know any of those people, and I'm a shift 2 cop.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
Well, I think these are.
Wait, so who told you this? Because that confusing.
Arcadia. She didn't even know how the VAF system was written. She didn't even know about the legislation on how that stuff works anyway. So I don't think she even knew what the process was. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about it from the long run. Like, why do I do this? Like, why am I spending the time? There's so much effort that goes back into what we have to do because somebody decided to take 10 seconds of their time. And how does that make a damn sense? Explain that to me. Why? It's honestly.
Are we sure we didn't get the answer behind who purchased the thing? Like, we didn't get the proper answer because Arcadia wasn't the one with the fucking sticky note? And
Yes,
had we...
That's why. Yes, I'm waiting to find out who bought it. That's what I'm saying. But then I have to go through all of this alleviated process to prove that this person, and then I have to press criminal charges against the person who bought the core, right? But again, why is it so complicated for us for somebody to spend 10 seconds to transfer the core? That car is going to be VAF'd 3 times.
It was VAF'd in an hour and a half after its purchase.
3 more times before I even see a day in court. I guarantee you. Why? Why is that process like that? Why? Explain to me. Why?
I think that was Arcadia.
Yeah, she left. I was done talking. I had nothing to say. There's nothing to say about it. Because I was asking hypotheticals, and she was like, I don't even know how you even talk to somebody the way that she was talking, because I'm just like, I'm asking a hypothetical. I'm like, okay, so if we find out that the person sold the core for the amount they paid for it, then the argument, which is what she said, is I didn't know the person was going to use it for crime. Okay? Or the person sells it for $0 and says, oh, I gave it to them, but I didn't know it was going to be used for crime.
Good morning.
And then the next
Hey.
question is just like, what? Again, we're back to what's the fucking point? Like, why are we doing this? It's a flawed system that's been dog shit from like forever. Like, why is that even a thing? This process should not take longer than what the time is that this core is going to get VAF'd 3 times beforehand.
Hey, Jimbo.
Morning.
Morning. It's interesting. So the thing is, I don't really know how we're expected to pursue the charges when it, like, the penalty is literally entirely judge's discretion. They will be subject to penalties that include but are not limited to fines equal to or higher than the vehicle's worth, jail time, and any additional penalties that a judge or justice finds appropriate. But like, it's intended to be sold to civilians and not to be sold. Wait, hold on. Anyone found to be serving as a surrogate, auction participant, or string purchaser will be prosecuted criminally. I mean, that's literally it. Actually, all we really need to prove right now is that, number one, this vehicle was owned by somebody. Let me make sure I'm not yelling. Somebody in Cyprus, which it was Zeke. 2, the person who purchased it did not have a criminal record, and then the person they sold it to, it had to have been immediately, because an hour and a half later it was VAF'd. So between
No. Look at the vehicle. The things were taken off. The strike points, the VAF points were taken off at 3:40 a.m. The report was made at 4:35. It wasn't even an hour, man. It was not even an hour.
It's the most egregious, like.
And by the way, we're supposed to just give this car back to the criminal again to just use the car. By the way, again, my question is, what is the fucking point if the criminals get the car back and get to just drive it around and use it in crime again? Why? What is the point? Like, I'm telling you what, man. If the person who was the quote-unquote surrogate car buyer doesn't get charged like $1 million to actually deter people from doing this, why the fuck would anybody, like, not just keep doing it? Why not? What? There's zero repercussions.
You're not wrong. I don't know. I think I might just take this over and just be incredibly petty about it, because the reality of the situation, Alice, is that until there is a penalty that is a high enough deterrent, this is just going to be done over and over and over.
Correct. Yes. Nobody. The thing is that it's probably never happened before. But like, how has this not been like thought about and have ways to not have this happen before this?
Well, systems are typically put in place with the intention of not everybody being a bad actor. Unfortunately, that does get abused. It is what it is. That's with any system. You know that just as well as I do. And I think, you know, these things that are occurring need to be pointed out so that at least next time they can be approved on. Like, for example, Raynor telling me that people with felony records are running up the prices of shit that they should have never had the opportunity to bid on.
Wait, they were bidding on stuff?
Yes. Alice, the person who was bidding for this Astron was Zeke, the prior owner. He has a extensive criminal record. Now, to be fair, I wasn't present. I was not there. But it was described to a T as Zeke. And then that same person, Rainer said, was not the same person to go and pay and claim the vehicle later. It was a different person. So Zeke was the one saying the numbers and being willing to, you know, say whatever. But again, he had a criminal record. So he couldn't do it himself.
It's a very flawed system. That
It is
penalized for.
Yeah. I
We
actually
receive more penalty than criminals, which is just mind blowing to me sometimes. Like, how am I supposed to? How am I? Sorry, just the radio started popping up. How am I supposed to keep people to want to work the job when things like this keep happening? Like, why? Like,
I don't know.
I just need somebody from somewhere to actively want to like make a system functional and better, and think to themselves like, oh, this is kind of flawed. Let's try to adapt to change this.
Do you think the judge who would have the information regarding who had it will provide the information?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't that? Why wouldn't they say who bought the core? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Well, whose name was it in? Did you buy a car?
No, I did not.
You said Bruce did, right? Did Anita buy one or Ricky? Someone else bought a car.
Ventura bought one.
No, not Ventura. Because we just need to see whose name it got transferred from.
I don't know, man. Let me spend another 15 minutes filling out this VAF report to send the person to there and notify that their vehicle has been VAF, and I will go from there.
I can send the notification.
No, it's okay.
I have a coffee pasta.
I do too. It's fine.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going 42. I have to head home and make sure I'm present for a delivery.
Have a wonderful night, Matt.
You too, Alice. Hey, listen. Things could be worse. We could be dead. We could be desperate. But we're not. Okay, gotta go. Bye. All right, chat. I have to call it. Okay. Who's live that I can send you off to, chat? Chris doing a subathon. I will send you off to him. Chat, thank you all so much for all love and support. I appreciate it. Thank you all for the follows, hosts, rates, bits, donation subs, gift subs, resubs. I say this each and every time. I genuinely cannot have asked for a better community to be built around the channel. So thank you all for being absolutely amazing. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Curvyelephant. Join our Discord, discord.gg/Curvyelephant. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, drop me a follow on Twitch. I appreciate that. I'm sending you off to Chris.